Punch confirms that J. Cole got punched by Diddy.
J. Cole said you was lying.
Yeah.
J. Cole called you a liar. I seen it.
I don't think that's what he said, but
he said you didn't see everything.
Oh,
it's possible to be right there and not have the full view of things. To that, you say what? Hey, clip this up.
What I say is, I mean, we've seen it from different perspectives. So if you're seeing it from the bottom of the dog pile as opposed to on the side, it might be a little different.
Different angle.
Might be a different angle. So I get, you know what I mean?
Niggas is good.
What's being said.
Niggas is good.
But you know, everybody got a perspective. Like, you know, so other people might have seen that whole situation different as well.
All right, but what happened that night?
Oh, man. All right, I'll give you the full story.
This nigga, you are.
Yo, it's good. You got him. You got him.
Messy Marvin.
Shut your ass up.
What you want me to
What's up, world? Your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Keep sending those cash apps to CLBMG. Join that membership. And all you buying that merch down below. Gang, listen. So when J. Cole went on that horrific interview run all over the place doing those interviews with Nadeska and Cameron and Carmelo Anthony and those other two guys, he said a lot of stuff. But one of the things he said was that he could rehash that Diddy thing, but he really didn't want to. He didn't want to kick the man while he's down. And a lot of us were like, didn't Diddy kick Cassie while she's down? Okay, sure, right? But Punch had told the story of the mythical story of when J. Cole and Diddy got into a little scuffle. And indeed, Dot was there and Punch was there. And it don't sound like it was over K. Dot like some of you tried to insinuate. A lot of you guys, man, they went so... Listen, gang, you got to understand these Drake fans. They want everything to be as implausible and ridiculous as it can be. And one of the rumors they were saying was, it got out of control. I'm just going to be honest. The last 2 years were out of control. One of the rumors they were saying was J. Cole jumped on Diddy to get him off of K-Dot. J. Cole jumped on Diddy to protect Kendrick Lamar. That's why he did it. It got crazy. I don't know if the Cole fans spun this or the Drake fans spun it or a combination of the two, right? Just like they try to tell us that J. Cole backed out of the battle because he got this mysterious call from Schoolboy Q who told him, yo, it's gonna get very serious. You don't want to be involved. K-Dot is not playing, it's chopping off heads. It's a personal thing. You should move out the way. And so at that moment, J. Cole went and apologized in front of his own crowd at Dreamville because of a random call from Schoolboy Q. So these guys are very colorful and they get very fanciful with these narratives. And that was one of the narratives that it was all over Dot. Well, if you go back to the story of what Punch said, Punch went back to the story because he was on Joe Budden, and Joe Budden said, bro, can you talk about the story of J. Cole and Diddy scuffling at some club? I guess it was a strip club. And Punch was like, yeah, I've already told the story. Well, Joe Budden said, well, J. Cole said you were lying or misinformed because you got some of the details wrong, right? Punch went on to say, well, J. Cole was at the bottom of the pile, okay? And his details might be misconstrued because he was at the bottom of the pile. When I was younger, right? We used to play football, tackle football, right? There's a real nigga show. We used to play tackle football, no pass, nothing, just in the hood. We had a grassy field, football, throw the ball, catch it, da-da-da. And when I was little, these dudes were so dumb, right? They would play this game called Pile On, right? It's some old school shit. All the dudes would pile on you. I hated this game because I would always get caught at the goddamn bottom. Can't breathe down there. You fuck around and die, right? But what would happen is the biggest, fattest dude will wait till the pile get all the way up. Then he run his big ass over there and flop on it. Boom, right? I'm at the bottom of the pile. I can't even breathe. Dust all on my face, dirt. I'm in the grass. You finally get up, everybody laughing, da-da-da. But it would start with one dude would grab you. You wouldn't openly play this game on purpose. You just fall down, right? End of the day, my opinion of what's going on out there ain't the fat dude opinion. He's standing on the side looking at the pile. I'ma see one thing, he gonna see another, okay? And I'm not saying that Punch is the fat dude, right? But what I'm saying is a dude that's standing on the outside gonna have a different perspective. And Punch said this dude, J. Cole, had a different perspective because he was at the bottom of a pile up. Right? I say all that to say that. J. Cole don't remember everything that happened because he scuffled with Diddy and he ended up on the bottom. And Punch said they had to roll J. Cole up out of there. So you can take that for however you want. Now, I've always had a problem with this J. Cole story. I'm just going to be honest. I've always had a problem. I know J. Cole's 6'5", whatever, tall, slender nigga, but he got some weight on, I guess. And I guess he can handle himself because he's from the streets of fucking North Carolina, right? So, end of the day, that's debatable, whatever you want to say. I know you niggas in the comments gonna say whatever. But end of the day, he should be able to handle himself. So him versus Diddy being probably a foot shorter than the nigga, he should be able to manhandle Diddy low key. But Diddy roll with a lot of security, gang. It ain't a whole lot of manhandling of Diddy, gang. You gotta understand what you're seeing. When Diddy's at a nightclub in a strange city, wherever they was at, he gonna be pretty secure. So it ain't gonna be no whole lot of yanking them up by the collar and strong arming them, pushing them down, It's gonna be, and let's be honest, Diddy kind of got that old man psycho strength. Diddy kind of crazy, gang. So he loses his mind. He hit a damn coach he hit the coach that was coaching his kid. I don't even know which son it was. One of the kids he got, right? Was it Albie Short's son? I don't know who it was. One of the kids was at the college. He went and talked to the coach. Coach wouldn't let the kid play. He was, whatever the reason was, Diddy hit him with one of them goddamn dumbbells. Right? Diddy insane, gang. So all of this, J. Cole yanked up Diddy, did this and that, got him on. I never believed that story was like that. I'm like, Diddy rolls with too much security. You hear too many stories of Diddy having 4 or 5 dudes jump on a dude. So I'm like, how you get the head up with Diddy? I never believed the story fully. So according to with all that going against him, J. Cole by himself, right, did all this and that to Diddy. So J. Cole said that Punch got the story wrong. Punch said, no, what happened was you two dudes start scuffling. He threw your ass on the table. Then you went under a pile of niggas and that was the end of the story. And they rolled you out of there. So it's a whole different. I got an article right here. We're going to talk about it. Punch said a couple other things we're going to get into. But first things first, we're going to deal with the Diddy scuffle. All right? Punch recalls J. Cole getting rolled out after the Diddy scuffle by Aaron A. for HotNewHipHop.com. More information on the infamous scrap between J. Cole and Diddy surfaces. It seems like we're getting closer to finding out the full story about J. Cole and Diddy's infamous brawl. Over the past few years, there have been a few different accounts of that evening that have surfaced. TDE's Punch, if y'all don't know TDE, Kendrick's his old label that put Kendrick on, up under Dr. Dre, this, that, and the third, and Punch is the owner of that label. Punch and Dreamville's IB have shed a bit more light on it. However, during a recent interview, J. Cole said Punch was missing details when he recounted the story during his visit to the R&B Money podcast. Most recently, Punch paid a visit to Joe Budden when Joe asked him about what actually went down on that. First, Punch addressed the fact that J. Cole claimed his account of that evening wasn't entirely accurate. Quote, if you've seen it from the bottom of the dog pile as opposed to from the side, it might be a little different, Punch said. From there, he went on to detail what went down, starting from the tension of Kendrick's infamous Control verse, which today feels like a sanitized diss compared to what we'd see him do during his spat with Drake. Now let's start there. What happened was it basically J. Cole still steaming about at this time of this brawl. J. Cole came up to Kendrick talking about the Control verse. It's so funny to me to hear how many dudes was in their feelings about that verse. It's so crazy because as an MC, yes, you're going to feel away. You're going to da-da-da. But it seemed like these guys, it lingered with him. It seemed like J. Cole never forgot it. It seemed like all them little shots he was taking for years, there was a lot of subs over years that they stemmed from the Control verse and he wanted his lick back. But he never fully took it. If it was that serious, you should have took your lick, gang. Just going to be honest. Drake ended up throwing subs for 10 years, him too. So this shit's 12 years old, I guess. So at this point, we're seeing guys that's still coming out that a lot of this stuff we saw in this industry was over jealousy and anger and unresolved emotions over that Control verse. Let me continue. Punch said that when they landed in New York, Kendrick, Dave Free, Top Dog, and himself went to Jay-Z and Diddy's MTV VMA party. So it's Top Dog and Punch that run TDE. They went to Jay-Z and Diddy's MTV VMA party. That's when they spotted J. Cole and Dreamville artist chopped it up with Kendrick. They talked about, quote, they talked about the song and or whatever. Dot tapped me and said, yo, this nigga's mad because of what I said in the song. We're laughing. I'm like, yo, it's basketball. Y'all going at it, but it's all love, Punch recalled, okay? So Punch and Kendrick laughing at this goofy nigga because it's on some goofy shit, still mad about the control verse. Da-da-da-da. Do something. Right? I said what I said, just do it. Spit your shit. But this is why this shit, and this is why he came up with the 7-minute drill so fast, because he been thinking about this shit for years. And never was saying it, was acting like, oh, that's my friend, my homeboy, da-da-da. I've read the 7-minute drill lyrics out loud several times, even as recently as a couple weeks ago. I read it on one of my live streams. He said some really heinous shit to Kendrick. Okay, that song, you can't say that's my friend, and you can't say I'm apologizing, I'm gonna delete it, because you really said some real heinous shit, gang. Right? Said bitch, call him this, that, and the third on it. So I think he been holding that stuff and been piling that shit on for the chance he actually gets to get to avenge that control verse. Let me continue. Then Puff walked over, and his energy, it was like something was wrong. So he starts talking to Cole and Dot at the same time, like, yo, it's good for the sport. It's competitive. Y'all need to go at it, but keep it on wax or whatever. Not knowing Diddy and Cole had a spat before we got there. They had a little argument from what I heard, Punch recalled. Apparently, it didn't take long for tensions to rise again. Punch said that Diddy approached J. Cole. Diddy not letting it go. This nigga got psycho energy, gang. He can sit there, talk to you for 10 minutes, walk away, come back. He want to bring it up again because he's just ignorant. We know that Diddy's a fucking psycho. He's ignorant, gang. Let me continue. You've heard all the stories of Diddy just being a little, just doing too much, right? Dressing like the Joker and shit, right? Let me continue. Da-da-da-da, sitting in the back of the car. Apparently, it didn't take long for tensions to rise again. Punch said that Diddy approached J. Cole, who had been sitting on the back of the couch in the section, and the two began exchanging more words. Quote, Puff reached up, and that's when the little tussle went back and forth. They fell on the table, knocked all the alcohol off. Punch continued. They rolled Cole up out of there, and they cleaned the table in 60 seconds. You didn't know anything happened. So what he's saying is, like I said, it ain't going to be no whole lot of tussling with Diddy by yourself. Diddy got too many people around him that get paid for just that. To tussle with niggas. Yank them up. Get them out of the spot in 60 seconds. There ain't going to be no whole lot of fighting with Diddy, gang. You got to understand what you're dealing with. This guy really walks around with a whole lot of heads that's itching to get into it. Okay? So that's why, gang, let me just have a little conversation with you real quick. We used to think Diddy was soft. We used to think Diddy was the shining suit man. If you catch him anywhere, he going to be so shook and scary, he going to run. What we didn't realize is Diddy rolls places with dudes that's really ready to get goony goo-goo. And he will sick him on you. So it's not, you don't hear, where are the stories out of Diddy getting yoked up anywhere? There are stories of Diddy doing the yoking, gang. You got to understand what you're dealing with. It's not a whole lot of, yeah, I put Diddy in the headlight. It's not a lot of that. Diddy has sicked his goons on people before they could even get close to him. That's why homeboy from Power, what was homeboy's name? He was on Power. And when Diddy dressed up like the Joker for Halloween, Diddy was doing too much. If you go look up that video of Diddy dressed like the Joker, homeboy that should be on Power, homeboy would be on Power standing like this, like, dude, I will rock your shit. I'll bust your head. I'll bust your shit to the white meat. But he ain't make a move on Diddy. Diddy like this. I can all Diddy. Then he gets serious looking at him like, homeboy, are we serious? You don't like this? Then make a move. See, Diddy could say all that make a move shit because it's fucking 10 goons standing with him. That's going to make the move for him. He don't have to touch him. That's why homeboys looking at him like, I'll bust your shit to the white meat if none of these dudes is around. Right? And they do have weapons. They license to carry all kind of shit. So getting into it with Diddy ain't that simple. So that story was mythological. That J. Cole beat up Diddy. They choked on Diddy. All it's mythological. Okay? Let me just so we understand on the same page. Just so we both know. So it looked like J. Cole got into it. Diddy put his hands on him. And they started tussling. And then they yanked Cole up and got him up out of there. So it ain't no whole lot to talk. Ain't no whole lot to tell. Right? And I believe some punches might have been thrown before during the scuffle, and that was the end of that. But Punch been on a mission with this interview because he doesn't stop there. He's talking about the label allegations of body, this, that, and the third, which I never. The only reason you would think that TDE bots or that Kendrick bots. It's because you're a Drake fan and you want to believe that. But you gotta understand, if the numbers don't mean much, I've never took TDE as a label that cared about numbers because they wouldn't put out the music that they make, gang. You gotta understand, if they're that hungry where they're gonna be botting this, that, and the third, then they would just make more music that would be more susceptible or acceptable to people wanting to stream it, this, that, and the third. They get their numbers making the music they want to make their own way. It don't make no sense to try to put out music that ain't gonna appeal to the masses and then bot it up. It's stupid. You would just get rappers that's gonna rap like that and make that kind of music, so you won't have to bot. You could bot that and it'll make more sense, right? You would get twice as much as you're getting, and then you could bot it up and be bigger than anybody. So it never struck me as a label. SZA does massive numbers, gang. They never struck me as a label looking for, we're gonna make fake bullshit music so we can get a lot of numbers. They don't strike me as a label that wants that shit. So if you're not wanting that, you're not going to use a lot of bots to get that. You're going to make music that's going to be open to that kind of shit. So he addressed this botting thing, and I want to read this article. TDE's Punch speaks on the label's botting allegations by Gabriel Brosnan-Veres for HotNewHipHop.com. TDE President Punch also addressed other rumors against them on the Joe Budden podcast, including paying Joe Budden to support Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar, SZA, and Doechii are 3 TDE-affiliated artists who have faced botting allegations from some hip-hop corners. We know where those corners are. They in OVO land. Courtesy of the OVO man. Let me continue. Especially in the aftermath of Kendrick's Drake battle. While on the Joe Budden podcast, the label's president, Terrence Punch Henderson Jr., addressed these claims when asked about them by Budden. Quote, "I ain't got nothing to say about it," he expressed, as quoted by Kirko on Twitter. "We don't bot, absolutely not. I've never," Henderson said. He's heard of people in the industry using bots, doesn't know where to get them, doesn't know how much they cost, doesn't know if people sell bundles of bots, but he understands how they could be beneficial. Quote, "We've been seeing it since MySpace," he said. Yeah, I know a lot of people on MySpace. I had this guy. He's from this area. He was a rapper that really wanted to be bigger than he was. I'm not going to say his name. I'm just going to say RIP. But he used to have 1 million followers on MySpace. We was like, yo, it's no way that you got 1 million followers on MySpace. And come to find out, he didn't. It was all bots. That shit was, back in the day, they used to you could pay people to push your MySpace numbers way up. And he just went a little too far, okay? Could have left it at 50,000, 100,000. No, he had 1 million followers on MySpace. It was all bots. So I do understand I could be beneficial, because then he got to talk real big bone and brolic, like I'm the biggest in the city, da-da-da. It gave him some bragging rights, okay? Gave him some bragging rights, even though they weren't real, okay? Let me keep it pushing. I don't got nothing to say about it. We don't bot, da-da-da-da. We've been seeing it since MySpace, he added when Budden asked if he sees how the numbers focused artists and labels will want to juice their numbers up. I used to run the follower account up, the listening account. They would run it up all the way up. But our whole thing was, if we do that, how are we going to know who the actual fan is? We do a show, don't nobody show up because it's all fake. So we purposely chose to not do that. The pod then poised artists and labels like the TDE camp could be big enough to sustain success in real life, thus leading to their alleged use of bots not mattering as much as extra numbers. Quote, "Where would they find the bots? It might be genius," Budden posed, but Imani questioned what the point of bots would be in the first place if this was the case. Ice brought up a head-to-head hypothetical between the two big artists that might sway in one's favor thanks to extra bots. It's not your aim, yeah, I can see that. Seeing people in them seats at the show. He also affirmed that they conditioned their fan base to support monetarily and in person, and so on. TDE's Punch JBP appearance also saw him deny rumors that he is paying Joe Budden to favor K. Dot, which I never even understood why you need to pay. It's mind-boggling, gang. It's mind-boggling. Why does Joe Budden why do you need to pay him to support Dot? It's not swaying anybody because Joe Budden likes Dot or not. It's silly, gang. Let me continue. It will sway somebody that's dumb, but at the end of the day, why? It doesn't matter. He's already doing his numbers. The battle's already over. We don't need to pay Joe Budden for anything. People that think like that are people who really are seriously tapped and they really want that narrative to be what it is. That's why Dot has more favor in the culture and in the industry, because he doesn't beg for that. He doesn't beg people to support him. He doesn't go out seeking shit that he can click like on this, that, and the third. The nigga's never online. We never see his shit. He might be on it, but we never see it. So at the end of the day, you got to look at the guy that's starving for everybody, anything that favors him, he's clicking like on it, or the guy that's never on there at all. Who wants that shit more? Who wants somebody talking favorably about them more? The one that you never see him online, is always smiling when you see him. He ain't even got a phone in his hand. Or the nigga got mad pictures with his duck lips and he looking like he reading half all the comments on goddamn Twitter. So it's two different people. Let me wrap this up, man. He denied that. Button also denied it as well. We'll see if they have anything else to say about what's going on with TDE that day. So at the end of the day, Joe Budden said he's not doing it. I never even believe that. This is another one of them weird ass narratives, right? It's like if you have an opinion and it's not on their side, then you must be getting paid, right? It can't be that a motherfucker. Everything gotta be like with me. It's like everything I say on Twitter. Oh, this is that hater. He's a Drake hater. Just because I call this guy out, or just because I say things that aren't favorable, or I ask questions that aren't favorable, doesn't make me a hater, gang. But that's the thing. If either you're talking really nice about a person or you're hating. There's no in between. There's no nuance. And that's where we are with this world, but it's okay. This world is what it is. Like Tupac say, I was given this world. I didn't make it. I just adjusted to it. I'm a hater. Then fine. It is what it is. I'm out of here, man. I'm going to catch you on that flip. Listen, CLBMG. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. Every Wednesday night. We getting back in business, gang. I know we missed a couple Wednesday nights. Just a lot going on. But me, TJ, and Flares, 9:15, 9:30. On all my social media platforms. We coming back. We're going to do what we do. And head on over to my Patreon. You can lock in over there. You can start at free $99. I put up everything I do over there, plus exclusive videos that are exclusive to Patreon. It's popping over there. Head on over there. Join the family. And last but not least, video. Peanut Butter Tim's. Lock in. Head on over to my videos. Type in that, search for Peanut Butter Tim's. Watch the video. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think. All right? And just between me and you, for the people that stayed behind on this video to listen to the very end, I used to do a lot of shows. I'm going to contact a lot of my legendary rappers. I'm about to start an interview series on here, right? As we see from the complex power players, you can't get nowhere without interviewing people. I'm about to interview, but I'm going to interview legends that I like. People. So I contacted some people. I'm about to start my interviews. That's about to get popping, gang, right? I'm not going to be pandering for no interviews. I'm going to hit up people that I like, okay? And people that I know got a great story to tell. So I'm already starting that, so stay tuned. That's coming. Legendary interviews, okay? I'm out of here, man. I'm going to catch you on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.
Get my coat, get my sheepskin, grab my wallet, get my pocket knife, and get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw assist pass easily. 6 man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for one game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard, put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim. And left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within. With the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin. With the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first, I took a block down on the west side end, and then secured a spot with some goons and some kin, and then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months' time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs, and yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb, and yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word, and he the one that got it cracking, and all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like past fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe and put some food in his face, and he'll kill for you, but I don't need him for that. Click like, click share, tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location, tell them niggas where we at, cause we out here and we ain't the cheese, we the trap.